feeling cold against your skin. Running through the chaos, letting all the sin. Temptation in a bottle, ready for the night. Craving for the thrill, it's time to ignite. Dark desires burning bright, echoes in the dead of night. No retreat, no looking back on this heart attack.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, how are you? It is nice to be back on a Friday night. Friday night, funnest night of the week. Well, not for the criminals we talk about because they're in jail, where they should be. At least most of them are. So tonight, I want to go back. Well, not too far back, but back by a week. We spoke about these two young people, Isabelle Valdez and Lois Lippert. Do you guys remember these ones from Lake Brantley High School in Florida, Seminole County? These two were plotting to attack a boy in their school because they thought he looked like the Sandy Hook shooter. Do you guys remember these two? Well, they have now been charged as adults, and there's been some more information come out about what exactly they were plotting, including detailed drawings that shed light on the teens' plot of what they were going to get up to. They have now been charged as adults. That is great news. Let me get set up. I'm sorry, I am running behind today. We've had a lot of stuff happen over the last couple of hours. Hey, good to see you all. Good to be back. We weren't here yesterday. Ping was very much under the weather. I'm getting old. I'm getting old, everyone. I'm a 75-year-old man, apparently. No, I hopped out of bed the other morning and I slipped, and I actually ended up putting my back out a bit, and it's been killing me for like 3 days. And yesterday I was just like, I am not in the mood to sit straight in this chair for 2 hours and do a live show with such a sore back. And I was like, I can't do it. So I was like having a day off, not a fun day off, just a day off to feel a bit better. SPR said, I don't understand the adult charge. Just the small video in the back of the car proves they are, but immature children, evil and issues, yes, but not adults. I think it falls under, um, I think it falls under their new stance on underage people and crime. There's been a real push to hold teenagers accountable for their actions, and depending on the severity of the crime is how they want to sort of charge them. And when it's something as serious as this, they have started to um, charge them as adults. That's what they're doing now. What is going on with my link? Okay, here we go. All right. Hey, good to see you all. Actually, let's spend a couple of minutes and say hi to everyone. Hey, Kim, how are you? Kim says, I'm sorry, Ping, I have chronic back and neck pain. Yeah, it's still a little tender. Green Fairy Light. Hey, good to see you guys. If you're in the chat, if you're watching now, you should say hi in the chat, because otherwise, how do I know you're here? How do any of us really know any of us are here? Well, you guys know I'm here because I'm on the video, but how do I know any of you are here watching if you don't speak in the chat? I'm not telepathic. There's no camera with thousands of people on the other side that I can see you guys. It's not a Zoom meeting. So the only way I can know if you're here is to talk in the chat. If you could do that for me, it'll make the show a lot more fun. All right, let's keep going. Hey, Jackie's here. Lynn D's here. The Thoris is here. Gayla's here. TC, hey TC, good to see you, my friend. Truth Be Told is here. Mr. Dan Yee as well. Kim, who we said before, hey Kim. Truth Be Told, Danny, hey Danny, good to have you. Who else do we have? Let's go up. Lynn D was here. Andrew was here earlier. Hey Andrew, good to see you guys. This is one of the craziest stories I think I've read about in a while. These young people plotted to kill this kid in their school. I really don't understand why they thought if this kid looked like the guy from Sandy Hook, like, how's that gonna do? Or I don't understand how that has any connection to the actual guy from Sandy Hook and how that would do anything, appease anything. I really don't get it. It's a really strange fixation for them to be attached to. Like they said, oh, it would they were gonna build like a mantle to him, and then they were gonna kill him and drink his blood. I said on my show last time we talked about this, as part of their punishment, I honestly think they should get pig's blood and give them a cup and be like, hey, before the court, you should drink the blood, like you said you were going to, of that young man. Prove it to the court that you were going to go through with this, because there's no way. What were they going to do? Pour him into a teacup and drink it? I like the delusion. How could you drink that? I don't think you could. I mean, like, how would you do it? Would you pour him into a Gatorade bottle and then have a swig? It's bizarre. It's really bizarre. I don't think anyone wants to drink a cup of blood. It's not something I've ever wanted to do. All right, let's play the video. This has some new information. It's very interesting.
Who has obtained personal notes and drawings of two teens from Lake Brantley High School who are accused of plotting to kill a classmate, including a letter to one of their parents saying it was not their fault.
We showed you video of Isabelle Valdez and Lois Lippert as they laughed in a patrol car about their arrest. West 2's Luana Munoz has been combing through the disturbing documents.
Images released by the state attorney's office show disturbing drawings and handwritten letters related to Isabelle Valdez and Lois Lippert. One letter says in part, "Dear Mama and Papa, I'm sorry for what I'm going to do. Hopefully you'll find this paper. I want you guys to know that none of this is your fault." The teenagers from Lake Brantley High School were arrested after officers say they plotted to kill a classmate. One letter seemed to detail the plan like a scene from a movie, saying, quote, "I was able to get my hands on some chloroform. It knocked him out cold. It was absolutely perfect." It also detailed how they would use a knife to carry out the plan. The teens could be seen in this video laughing and joking about the case after their arrest. Investigators say the girls were obsessed with the boy, believing he resembled the shooter from the Sandy Hook Elementary massacre. They allegedly thought that by killing the boy, they could bring the shooter back to life. Another part of the letter says, quote, "I love Adam Lanza. We're soulmates, just waiting to be reunited once more." Other parts said, quote, "I'm sorry I could not have been a better child. I've known there's been something wrong with me since I was a little kid." Some of the drawings were more morbid, depicting what appeared to be the male classmate being hung by a noose with a cross on his chest.
Stand up, put your hands behind your back.
On Thursday, the state attorney released this body cam video capturing the moment officers told Valdez to stand up and put her hands behind her back, followed by Lippert being handcuffed.
Then have a seat, please.
The girls are accused of bringing a knife to school in January, along with flowers, candy, and cigarettes as part of a ritual to carry out their plan. In Altamont Springs, Luana Munoz, West 2 News.
There you go. Some new footage of them being taken into custody. That's very interesting. They looked shocked. There you go. I mean, at least one of them sounds like they have a disorder, like a personality disorder, something like that. You can hear in the way they describe certain things that there's obviously a I'm not sure which one it is. I'd have to ask Insightful One. She knows all the different disorders, but there's definitely something there. I don't know about the other one. I almost feel like the other one is just tagging along to be cool. There's always a ringleader, and then there's the one that follows along. And I feel like they follow that typical sort of friend hierarchy here. The fact that she says, like, I always knew something was wrong since I was young. A lot of people that have those type of psychotic disorders, they all reckon they knew from a very young age. The problem I have here is I don't know how much is acting and how much is real, and how that's why psychologists are paid a lot of money. But I don't know how much of it is sort of a game and how much of it is real, proper, you know, some sort of mental disorder. But look, they're going to be charged as adults, and they have now. They'll go to court in an adult court, and whatever they're sentenced to, they're going to be going to big girl prison. And I mean, it's very serious. Look, here's some of those photos. There's, I mean, if anything, it's a shame. She's quite a good artist, and it's a shame that she would use her talents for something so evil. Um, it's strange. It's almost like unrequited love gone wrong or something. It's a bit weird. There's another one here. It's yeah, I don't I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. There you go. There's the letter that she wrote. Hang on, can we get the better? Can we zoom in on that? Yeah, we can. What does she say? She says, "Dear Mama and Papa, I'm sorry for what I'm going to do. Hopefully you will find this paper. I want you guys to know that none of it is your fault." Okay. Or anyone else's. Okay. She said, "I chose to do this by myself, for myself, and Adam Lanza. I'm sure he'll be thrilled. They told me that Adam would come back to speak to me if I did this for him." Who's they? I want to know who they is. She says, "Adam Lanza wanted it. I think a fair and beautiful sense of duty on my behalf. I love Adam Lanza. We're soulmates, just wanting to be united once more. I want you guys to know that you were the most perfect parents ever. Not too perfect. I'm sorry I could not be a better child." Okay, I don't know about that. "I've known there's been something wrong with me since I was a little kid. I just never showed it. I'm sorry. I was never really shy. I just hated people, and I was aware of how disgusting everyone is. Being forced to talk was brutal. I pretended to be a socialite to make you guys happy because I love seeing you guys happy. It was one of the only things that made me happy." It's a bit contradictory, isn't it? Over the years, I've just lost control over myself and my emotions. Whenever I told someone I hated you guys, it was a pure lie. I'm sorry for over hurting you, and I deserve what's coming for me, as I am also disgusting, cruel, and useless. There's a lot to break down in this letter. Um, a lot of self hate. There's a lot of strange things about. Hold on, what did she say about her parents down here? She says, "I pretended to be a socialite." Did you? It's interesting. Paris Hilton might want to be contacted about that. And to make you guys happy, because I love seeing you guys happy. It was one of the only things that made me happy. That's a strange way of wording that. Um, and then she says, "Over the years, I've just lost control over myself and my emotions. Whenever I told someone I hated you guys, it was a pure lie. I'm sorry for overhurting you, and I deserve what's coming for me, as I am also disgusting, cruel, and useless." A lot of self-pity at the end there. It's very strange. And then she talks about Adam Lanza here. I want to know who they is. They told me that Adam would come back to speak to me if I did this for him. Who's they? Who's them? The voices in her head, like who? I would love to know who they is. It's not explained. Um, the problem I have though, is this real, or is this someone trying to act crazy? What's going on with my microphone? There we go. Is it someone trying to act crazy and sort of put on a, like, I'm psychotic and look how crazy I am? because you see the type of things they were talking about, the type of planning that they did. It's hard to know whether this is a true someone suffering from some sort of, delusion or psychotic disorder, or someone who has read a lot about it and is sort of like creative writing, to explain their actions, trying to set up a defense, maybe. Yeah, Deborah's on the same track. To set up an insanity defense, right? I'm concerned that it is so front facing in the writing. I mean, it's almost like in your face, and it's almost like too in your face. And I would be very interested to see what they say at trial when they get the psychological. Okay. Sorry, guys. Someone messaging me. Give me a sec. Okay. What was out of fuckers? Sorry. I hate our sorry, I had to do like our shopping for me and Mrs. Ping. Every time we do like online shopping and they deliver it, they're always like, "We are a supermarket and half the things you ordered we don't have." And it's like, "Well, why do you open in the morning? How is it that you don't stock half the things that you sell every day?" Yeah, so anyway, let's get back to this. It's very strange. Here, let's look at Adam Lanza. Adam Lanza. I don't know much about him. Adam Lanza. I mean, we all know the story of Sandy Hook. He's dead, so he died when the shooting happened, I'm guessing. Yeah, so yeah, he died December 14, 2012, and he's considered a mass murderer. I mean, I don't know how. It's strange for these kids too. You got to think of their age. 2012 seems like not long ago for us, but for these teenagers, they would have been like 1 or 2 or 3 at the time. Maybe like just born. It's so long ago now, 14 years ago. They were, yeah, probably just born at the time. It's strange that they would even know much about it at all. It's, they weren't alive at the time. And even if they were, they wouldn't have been watching the news and being impacted by it. So to have this sort of strange connection to the guy, I wonder where that comes from. I really do. It's a bit odd. Green Fairy Light said maybe they thought they were sacrificing him to the killer. I think that's sort of the road they were going down. Because you hear here where they say, "I chose to do this by myself, for myself, and Adam Lanza. They told me that Adam would come back to speak to me if I did this for him." You know, it has parallels to the girl. It's almost like I feel like this is a copy. That's why I worry that this is not legitimate. It feels like a copy of the girls who tried to kill their classmate. The one that escaped from her house a while ago. It feels like a copy because when they did their one, they had a similar story where it was, "Oh, if we did this for Slender Man, we were going to he were going to be one of his proxies or whatever." This reads almost identical. So I worry they've been reading about Slender Man and maybe they talk about Adam Lanza, but I wonder if they have styled their attack on the Slender Man attempted murder because it reads very, very similar to it. The fact that, when they talk about Slender Man, if they killed this girl, the 2 girls in that one were gonna become proxies for Slender Man. This one, if they killed this classmate, Adam Lanza was gonna come back and speak to them. It's, it almost doesn't seem legitimate. I almost come to the conclusion that I would want to see the psychological report, and because they're underage, we may never get it. The fact they're charged with an adult doesn't mean we will actually get that paperwork. Sometimes they still lock it away. So I would like to see that mental health report on her because it just it doesn't seem right. There's something here, especially with some of the way it's described. I've seen a lot of cases where young people have killed other people. I've seen a lot of cases where people who have been mentally ill have killed other people. And like Danny said, it almost seems performative. It seems like it was made to do this, what we're doing now. True crime channels are going to put it on their show and they're going to talk about it. And look how famous I'm going to be because of my weird plan to go and kill this guy for Adam Lanza. It's almost like she was trying to think 10 steps ahead. Yeah, I think they do. I just don't like this part of it. I agree with you. I think there is obviously something mentally wrong, but this almost seems like too far. And it doesn't seem I just don't think it seems that legitimate. Hey Wendy, how are you? Wendy said, I'm bummed I missed the first 15 minutes of Ping. I was feeding my kitties. Good to have you here tonight. Good to have you here. I am so happy to be back on this Friday night, hanging out with all of you and talking true crime. It's nice when we can sit down and not rush through a topic. This one I'm very interested in because of, well, it's not often that you hear of two teenage girls of this age being charged as adults for this type of crime. So, yeah, I don't know. Some of it just seems, I don't know. There's probably some disorder here, but I just don't think it's the one that they're trying to portray. It's a shame. Girl's a good artist, really. It's a real shame that she didn't put her talents to better use. She could have done a lot with her artistic career. Quite a good drawing. Yeah, so you can see these. I don't know what this means. I don't know. Is it almost sexual? Like I don't know, she's killing him, making out, trying to make out with him. And then this one here, is that her and the kid, her and the boy, or her and the other girl? I'm gonna say it's her and the other boy because they blacked the face out. And it's almost like is she dead in this photo too? You see a lot of what looks like blood on the floor, and then she has injuries or blood drawn on. Was she planning to not be around after it too? Danny said, "Do you all remember Fridays when Skep would serenade us?" I remember that from a long time ago. Where is he? Is he doing all right? I haven't seen him in a long time. Deborah said, "I will keep an eye out for future ping show. Make sure my notifications on." Thank you, Deborah. I appreciate it. Let's see. Phoenix will cool down. I hope. I hope Phoenix cools down. All right, let's go down. Hey, good to see you. Some of us are just shy watchers. Well, I'm happy that you posted in the chat. It's hard for me to know who's watching if I don't see a name every now and again. I can't, connect with my viewers if I don't know who's there. But if you want to be someone who's totally anonymous, I can understand that. Who is messaging me? Okay. Yeah. So charged as adults, they will go to trial. They're being held in custody. Yeah, so investigators say the girls were obsessed with the boy at school because they believed he resembled the shooter from Sandy Hook shooting. They allegedly thought by killing the boy, they could bring the shooter back to life. Where does that thinking come from? I'd love to know if this ends up being legitimate. Ping doesn't think it is. If it ends up being legitimate, why is this such a recurring theme with some of these young people who murder classmates or other young people? What's with this? if I kill them, they could be brought back to life. If I kill them, you know, third party person will come and talk to me. I'd like to know where that sort of comes from. Um, so they brought a knife to school and the flowers, candy, and cigarettes as part of a ritual to carry out their plan. It's almost like they stole it from an anime or something. Yeah, and we've all seen the body cam. If you haven't, I'll play it right now for people who haven't seen it. Let's see.
Okay. 99% sure, at least, let me talk to church. There's a narrative that's in it right now, but it's just the first contact.
So I'll just tell him it's just.
Yeah, I'm actually going to try get this into a better video because it's not. Yeah, it's very small. Can we open it in a new frame? Okay. Give me a sec. I'm going to try to see if we can get it because it's really tiny. Let me see if I can get a bigger video of that. Body cam of the arrest. All right, give me 1 second because I want to watch that. They've released the entire 30-minute body cam. I'm sure if we go to the local law enforcement, they will have it. Okay. They do not. What arresting agency was it? Seminole County. All right. Let's see, Seminole County. Okay, they don't have it on their page. It's a shame because that video is very interesting. Yeah, I'll just have to play this one, unfortunately.
Tip showed. Did you not see it?
No?
Someone tipped.
He fucking snitched.
I don't get why he wouldn't tell the police though. He did a tip though.
Huh?
Police, he did a tip though. Cause it was anonymous tip, but I was just assuming it was by the writing.
Yeah.
Just like
It was?
Yeah.
Oh my fucking god. God, I knew I shouldn't have told him. Because he was like, oh, can you please tell me I can't sleep tonight? Fuck you! God!
Yeah, I got shown the tip and it was like, my friend, 15-year-old, named, he goes by Jimmy, is planning to kill some dude. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to try find the better version of this. I can barely hear it. She does say though, it came in as an anonymous tip, and then she says something about I shouldn't have told him, and then they say, "Oh yeah, I got shown the anonymous tip." So I don't think it was truly anonymous. They said that someone actually called it in that was a classmate that overheard them talking in the hall about this plan. So, yeah, I'll find a better copy of it. It's like 30 minutes long. No, I can't use Law and Crime. They will obliterate us to all hell if I use any of their videos. They will, even though they shouldn't be copywriting dash cam like court cam, or not court cam, the action camera. They shouldn't be copywriting it, but they do. Let me see. Is it? I'll try one more place. I know one more place that might have it. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I see Law and Crime has the entire thing.
Your butt.
Perform.
They don't seem to have all of it.
Gotta get me best lawyers I can.
Psych ward. That's why I was so excited about everything. I think I would be so jolly if I was going to jail.
Yeah, I was kind of assuming they were wording it like you were gonna go to psych ward.
I know. But I shouldn't have told them all this. Like, okay, so I was there, and then they were asking me about the swatting incident that happened. And, I started crying because I thought she was gonna feel bad. Like, and send me to the psych ward because I was like, I thought about hurting someone. Yeah, I thought about hurting this boy. And then they saw through my so.
They're a little hard to understand, but she was saying basically that the boy's mother overheard that the son was the target, and she's like basically swearing about it, saying, "Oh, who gives a F?" and crazy. It really is. All right, let's continue. So where are they? What's going to happen to these? What's going to happen to these three now? Hopefully, we're going to get to trial on this, but I have a bad feeling. It's possible this is going to get resolved before trial. Give me 1 second. Same video frame. Okay. I'm just trying to see if we can get a better copy of this. No. All right. I'll be able to get it, but I'll have to do it after the show. There's a way of getting those videos from these web pages like this. When you see them embedded like this, you can go through. Actually, I'm going to teach you guys something. If you guys ever wanted to get a video and you see it on a web page and you have one of those download tools where it's like download any video, but you click it and it doesn't pick it up, you can actually go through Chrome and get into your developer tools and you can find the source for the video. So you go down to the video, play the video, and then stop it, and you'll get a bunch of links. You're looking for the one that looks like MP4 or a file format that is a video. Then you right click on that and open up in a new tab. When you open that up in a new tab, you'll end up getting you'll get the video and it won't have this sort of security around it. You'll be able to download it, you'll be able to make it bigger, you'll be able to fast forward and all this type of thing. So there is a way to do it. So if you've never done that before, that is a little trick that I can teach you guys. It's a little way of getting these videos. Sometimes you can right click and just go open in a new tab, but in this particular one you can't, which is a bit annoying. But yeah, these two girls, man, I don't know what we're going to do with them. Oh, it's very disturbing. Very disturbing. A tip service plan to kill another. Here, on Thursday, January 22nd, an anonymous tip was sent through Get Fort. What is it? Get 40. What is that? Something Get 40 Florida? What is this? Hold on, let's open it. Is it like a tip line? Fortify Florida. Report suspicious activity. Here you go. So the tip was sent through this. And what is it? Fortify Florida is a suspicious activity reporting tool that allows you to instantly relay information to appropriate law enforcement agencies and school officials. Okay. They even have an app. You can do it online or through the App Store. That is very interesting. So the tip came through that particular app at the time. The tip said a student, later identified as Valdez, was planning to kill another student the next day. On Friday, 23rd of January, the report says both girls went to school, and by 7:38 a.m., police contacted the school security guard to get Valdez out of class. She was pulled out of class into the assistant principal's office where she was questioned about ever wanting to hurt someone. She paused and then said yes, then told the assistant principal that she had a letter to give her parents after she had hurt a classmate. When asked about how she would hurt the victim, she stated she had a knife, gloves, trash bags, and wipes in her backpack. Valdez then handed the assistant principal a white trash bag from her backpack containing all the items she had described. In the backpack was a 10 to 12-inch knife. Holy crap. It's like a kitchen knife. They're saying body camera released by the state attorney's office shows the arrest of the two teens. I think we've watched most of it though, but we can have another look. Good work. Good work, Ping. Nope. Oh. Sometimes these videos act weird.
This is body cam video shared by the state attorney's office of the arrest of Isabelle Valdez and Lois Lippert.
Place your hand back.
The suspects are 14 and 15-year-old best friends from Lake Brantley High School. Isabelle Valdez and Lois Lippert have been charged as adults and are accused in a murder plot. Investigators say the girls were obsessed with a boy at their school because they say he resembled the shooter who massacred young children at Sandy Hook Elementary School in 2012. They allegedly believed that by killing the boy, they would be able to joke after their arrest in January.
I don't think any child looks like that alien kid from 2012. Kathy said, in other words, if you don't know what to do on your computer, contact Ping. Don't contact me. Wendy says, once they got to jail, their behavior seems to change drastically. Definitely in the court, when you see them in like when they come into the courtroom, they're not as sort of jovial, and reality has set in. Definitely. They're not as like in the back of that cop car, they're laughing and joking, and it's all a big game. You know, it's not a game when you realize you ain't going home and you're not going back to your mum and dad tonight. I wonder if that is something they realized after they had to spend more than 24 hours in custody. They've been in custody for since January now. So let's see what else we can find on them. I was hoping there might have been. Yeah, let's do like that. I really wish we had that full video to have a look through. All right. Oh, what was that? I thought I saw a link we could use. Give me a sec. Is that okay? No. All right. We're gonna have to find the. There's probably an authority that released the video. I'm just gonna have to track it down. Let's see. What else do we have? 1 days ago, WKMG. Okay. Let's go to WKMG. What does it say here? They're saying they acquired those new drawings, yet we have seen those new drawings as well. They have the full. And I'm sorry I'm going to do this to you guys, but it's only for a second. It's going to be a white background. Give me 1 second. All right, this is the full. First.
Hey, Brittany, do you know where Rebecca is? No.
You guys need to turn it down more.
So yes. One second.
Isabelle? Yeah. You do me a favor, just stand up, put your hands behind your back.
It's interesting that they pulled her out of class first and not the friend. Did you guys notice that? That it's just her. And when that report came in, everyone was worried about her rather than the friend. I find that very interesting. Tells me that she's probably most likely the ringleader between the two.
Just gonna tighten these just a little bit, okay? Don't move. You start pushing your hands, it'll get real tight on you. Okay, so just leave your hands. You all right?
Yeah.
You need me to loosen one? Which one?
No, it's okay. It's just I gotta like stab in the back of the thing.
Come on out this way.
I think we're going down.
Out this way.
Yeah,
Towards
because
the.
that way, it gives
Okay.
you out to the.
Okay, so we're waiting for the other. I'm just gonna bring them both at the same time.
Have they explained what's going on?
He's coming. Yeah, all right.
Have they explained to you? So unfortunately, you are under arrest. You're being charged with attempted first-degree murder. Okay? And that's premeditated. You're gonna be transported to jail, and then
So the volume's a little low. If you couldn't hear that, he's telling her that she's going to be charged with first-degree attempted murder, premeditated.
you'll be able to get in contact with your parents there, okay? But we are gonna call your parents to let them know what's going on, okay? All right.
Her stuff's evidence. Okay, so let's take. We're gonna head out.
Yeah, but we're just,
All right,
we're
just waiting for-
just waiting.
Looking at the same time. You gonna do the same time? Are they different cars or same car? Same car. Okay, I'm just waiting for the other one to walk out in front of us.
Nice, you need me to come with
What's that?
you? You need me to come with you?
I don't think so. We got the. Dennis, we got the second one? Yeah.
For a search or not?
Yes, please.
Okay.
There's the other one. There's her friend. Both of them complicit.
Is you guys still down building 6?
You again. Do you have anything hidden on you that may have been missed? Okay. If they find something that's hidden that we don't find,
And they're
There you go. Basically, perp walk them through their school out into that car, and then that other video inside of the vehicle takes place. Yeah, everyone's saying conspiracy. Okay. No, yeah, no emotion. They didn't seem to care very much, did they? Oh, we're being arrested for attempted murder? Sure. That's just a normal Thursday. SP1 said, I'm confused about the timeline. Yeah, probably won't go to trial and we won't get any of the details. I don't think it's going to go to trial. I think it's going to get resolved. They're going to offer a plea deal and probably drop the charge down to something lower, and then they will probably have to spend a period of time in a mental facility. That's probably what's going to happen. I can't imagine this actually going to a courthouse in Florida. I just don't see it happening. They can say all this stuff about charging them as adults and how they're going to be tough on youth crime. It won't. They'll end up going to pleading to some lesser charge that doesn't involve jail time, but involves some time in a mental facility. Let me go back to our other page for 1 second. Actually, I'm just going to put you on WTF. Look, they're racist against Australians. Look. All right, let's see if they have the second one. Is that the second one? It is. And then I'm going to bring you back. There we go. All right, here's that full body cam.
You got the
Excuse
sound
me?
recorded, Phil?
Can you just put my shirt
Website?
down? Okay. It's
Yeah,
it's
you
not.
still
Yeah,
working on
it's a
that?
comfortable. Is that better? Yeah.
And they're, we'll go through the recording later.
It's interesting. She's all like
Are we
compliant.
gonna be in the same one?
What do you mean, same one?
Same jail?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah!
Alrighty.
Wait, they went through his phone?
No, they're going to go to his phone. Oh my god. Yeah! Hey, what are you doing here?
No, he's not.
Gonna be arrested too.
What? Why?
Yes, I told him he knew. He didn't report me. I told him already. He did a tip?
There was a tip shown. Did you not see it?
No?
Someone tipped.
He fucking snitched.
I don't get why I wouldn't tell the police that he did a tip though.
Huh?
That's interesting. They think a third, I think it's a boy, was going to be charged alongside of them because she apparently dobbed on him and told the authorities that a third person knew of the plan. But they're saying, like, oh no, a tip came in. As we know, only these two were charged over it. So their whole idea of dobbing on a third person and getting them in trouble too did not work out.
Police, he did a tip though. Because it was anonymous tip, but I was just assuming it was by the writing.
Yeah.
Just like
it was.
Yeah.
Oh my fucking god. But I knew I shouldn't have told him, because he was like, "Oh, can you please tell me I can't sleep tonight?" Fuck you, God.
Yeah, I got shown the tip, and it was like, my friend, 15-year-old named he goes by Jimmy, is planning to kill some dude. Yeah, and it was like, I don't really remember their real name, but I think it was Isabelle. Yeah, it was spelled wrong too. So.
God, she's such a fucking snitch.
So that's immediately what I thought when I saw that fucking tip.
So stupid.
It's so cold in that room.
Which I know, dude. They had me sitting there, and I was so. Dude, they took away my chocolate.
No!
I was able to eat like a part of it, like a part of the big bar.
Oh my god.
But then that's it.
Were you able to?
So they are upset because the authorities took their chocolate bar. That seems to be what they're concerned about while they're locked up in the back of a cruiser, going to jail to be charged with a crime. The fact that the authorities took their chocolate bar. Okay. Hey, the Thoris, how are you, my friend? It is good to see you again. It's good to see you drop by the channel again. I've been missing your presence on the channel. Deborah said unless they are on probation. Wow. I don't think so.
Damn it. Bro, I wanted to come back to second period so I could have, like, nibbled on some with you. I was like, that was my main goal. Because, like, they spent, like, an hour at the beginning just, like, trying to... And I only realized that, like, then, like, I was like, yeah, Ash is their preferred name. I don't know their real name, like, at all. Dude, they put up the security cameras and stuff, and they got to see us walking out.
Saw.
Yeah. That was the first time I've ever seen it. I wanted to see so much more. I was like, whoa, look, I'm on the cameras there. It was so cool. I was like, damn. I forget that there's just, like, videos.
Yeah.
Like that.
We're like the little direct. Hey. Not a school shooting, at least.
We'd be in prison for life.
Yeah. I wonder how long we're gonna get.
I'm probably not gonna get that much time. I mean,
I gotta
I
get that
like
much
test the
fucking
knife for a
time.
few seconds, yo.
Gosh. Ow. I moved my hands. Ow.
These are low-key more
Don't
comfortable
move your
than
wrist,
last.
it'll make it hurt. You gotta keep
Oh.
it still.
These are more
I'm too
comfortable
fat
than
to stay still. God.
these are more comfortable than the last car I was in. Police car. I had my things behind my back, but like they had it like really bad and shit. I had to like go into like crazy positions to feel like, comfortable, and it was an hour-long car ride.
Dude, last time they didn't even put me in handcuffs. They just stuck me. And they let me take my stuff too. I was able to take like some of my little ponies, my plush, and my phone.
Oh.
But then they took my phone away. They took all my stuff away. Because they were like, you can't have this in there. So I was like, okay, whatever.
I wasn't even. I don't think I had anything on me, but I got my shirt taken away. Because I think it like went off the sleeve a little bit. And I guess that wasn't allowed.
I don't know. You guys tell me, what do you think of their sort of mannerisms and what they're talking about? It's very, blasé. They're just like, oh, things like that. It's very strange. Gayla said, so been taken in a cop car. Yeah, it seems like they've both been in custody at least once before. They're talking about how they've had handcuffs on before behind their back, how this time is more comfortable than the other time. It's really strange. Hold on, I just want to jump forward a little bit because it's like 30 minutes long. Why is the trip so far? How far away from the police station are they?
What time?
Bro, I'm good. Like you were gonna go to psych ward.
I know. But I shouldn't have told them all this shit. Okay, so I was there, and then they were asking me about the swatting incident that happened, and I started crying because I thought she was gonna feel bad, and send me to the psych ward because I was like, I thought about hurting someone. Yeah, I thought about hurting this boy, and then they saw through my shit. So, and then they pulled out the bag from my backpack. I had to tell them everything that was inside. Dude, and now they also saw the drawings.
Oh yeah, I told them about that. I told them like, yeah, I did some weird drawings. I didn't actually tell the full thing till like 10:30, I think.
Yeah, they made me tell everything that was in the drawings.
Oh, can you remind me of the drawings? Let me just know what they went through.
Dude.
Did they comment on it? They were like, this is really good. Did they say anything?
Yeah, they said, you're quite the artist. And I was like, no, that's my friend Lois's. Hey, let's roleplay some Columbine stuff. Hey,
yeah.
Wait, who's Eric?
Well, obviously, I'll probably be Eric because Eric obviously gets it up the ass.
Okay. Hey, Eric.
Oh, fuck off, Cleeballs.
Hey, kitty, please talk to me.
You probably don't even know about KFMDM.
Yes, I do. Flashes my KFMDM shirt off.
Whoa, you know about KFMDM?
Yes.
I feel something in my pants.
Hey, what if you have my Jewish babies inside you?
I hate Jews, no!
What's wrong with you, Eric? Please.
Okay, fine. Don't feel that Jewish nose with me.
Sticks it up through your butt. Hey, my sister goes to therapy over here.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Hey, my mom's gonna see the police car. She's gonna be like, damn. And then when I call her, hey, mama, that was me in the police car. You see me?
I've never been here. I don't. Oh, I'm so sad. This is falling off. Because I'm getting sweaty.
Proof?
Oh, my second.
Calm down. Hey. Oh, this is much more comfortable. Dude, I should have done it in the morning.
Yeah.
Dude, he was right there. I was following behind him.
I don't know, guys. It worries me that, yeah, like you guys say, they're probably just going to get even though it's quite a famous case, there's a lot of people talking about it, that it's just going to get battened down before we even get to trial, which will be sad because do you want these two roaming around on the streets of Florida? I don't think people in Florida would be very happy. Yeah, I don't know if the citizens of where they live would be very happy having these two that seem to plan to want to kill people. I know it's Florida. Maybe they have to deal with that every day anyway, but yeah, it's almost like their attitude is like, "Hey, this is going to be fun. We're heading to jail together." It's like a sleepover for the both of them. It's really disturbing. Danny says, "I have some sympathy for them." I can't figure out whether it's dumb kids who have done something really stupid and got themselves into a world of trouble or actual mental illness that is like a shared delusion between them, and I can't figure it out which one it is. Well, they didn't when they were in court, they didn't look very, here you go, I'll show you. They didn't look very happy and jovial in this photo, did they? They did not look where's all the laughing and jumping around and thinking this is a fun time? It's very serious, and the mother of that kid, she's traumatized. She was saying how she's thinking of she may have to leave her job, she may have to move her kid to another school, maybe even leave the area because they're worried about what happens, if these two ever get out of jail. I hope they don't get out for a good period of time, but you just never know. Um, I'll see if I've got the court footage. Hold on. I've got a little bit of court footage, not much, but there's a little bit here.
Shooter. It's something Valdez obsessed over.
200 photographs of the named victim.
According to police, the suspects planned to push the victim into the school bathroom at Lake Brantley High, slit his throat, and drink his blood. They even brought the knife to school.
The concept of murdering another person to resurrect a school shooter is unfathomable.
The plot came to an end after someone tipped off police, something that took Valdez by surprise during that ride to jail.
Someone tipped. He snitched.
The judge denied bond after watching the video.
They thought this was cute. I don't want her on the internet talking to other young folks about this. It's too dangerous. And so for that reason, I think that that's a real risk to the community that I just can't fix.
Bravo to that judge. Bravo to just being like, no, I'm not going to let them out. Look at the way they're acting in that car ride. Very interesting that had they done nothing in that car ride, maybe the judge might have put them on bail or something. But because this was all a big joke to them, that this judge wants to send a message to them that, this is serious. This is something that you have to take very seriously. It's not a joke. Your actions say that you're going to kill another child. It's not a big game. And now, because of their actions, because of them joking around, one, have been charged as adults. Two, they're now in jail and they get no bond. So now they have to suffer with their consequences. In Florida, like a lot of places, even in Australia, in Melbourne, where I live, there is just a spate of youth offending. Youth offending has gone through the roof. Even where I live, it is a massive problem. There are a lot of things going on down here about should they make the age of culpability higher? How do they get control of this youth crime epidemic? Here, youth. There is just, this was 2 days ago. I'll show you this article. Victorian crime statistics show youth offenders overrepresented in carjackings and home invasions in Melbourne, where I live. And they're saying here more than half of all carjackings and home invasions in Victoria last year were committed by youth offenders. The crime statistics for 2025 show youth crime rose by 2%, with more than 1,200 minors arrested. Car thefts rose to their highest level since 2001. So they're saying here in Victoria, police arrested 1,223 children and a combined 6,997 times, with figures showing minors committed 57.6% of carjackings and 52.6% of all home invasions. They said youth gang members were responsible for a large number of the offenses, with officers arresting on average 4 youth gang members every day, resulting in over 4,000 charges being laid. So even down here in Victoria, where I live, there's a huge problem with youth crime. This one's a little more different. This is like a pre-planned, slightly different, but it shows you that this youth problem is everywhere. It's not just in Florida. It's seems to be happening all over the world for some reason. And yeah, but this one's just one of the more severe examples. Let me see if I can. Hmm. Okay. Yeah, I was trying to see if we could get those actual statistics up on the screen, but I'm not able to find them. They actually released the 2025 statistics for Victoria yesterday, and they're saying here there were over 630,592 criminal offences recorded in Victoria last year, an increase of over 25,000 offences, or 4.2%. That's huge. The crime rate, which factors in population growth, rose by 2.4%, or 8,500 offences per 100,000 people. There you go. That's the crime rate for Victoria and Melbourne, where I live. And they're saying a lot of it is driven by youth crime. So, like you heard, carjackings and home invasions, over 50% were youth people. It's crazy. Deborah said comprehensive evaluations are needed. Yes. Wendy, I'm always shocked at how some of these kids treat authority figures. I find it interesting that they got to stay in jail because of their behavior. And I thought that was a great way to send a message to not only these two, Isabelle and Lois, but to a lot of youth. They're going to see this story, and hopefully that'll or don't play up. The judge might keep you in jail. That would be a good thing if it does send a message. But what's going to happen to these two now? Well, they're gonna stay in jail. They're both being charged as adults with attempted first degree premeditated murder, and we're gonna have to. They've both pleaded not guilty. They're scheduled for another court hearing April 29th, 2026. So a little while away. So they have to stay in jail until late April, until they visit court again. I wonder if that is what they had envisioned when they were arrested that day at school. I have a funny feeling they thought they were going to go home at the they might go to the police station for interview, and then after a few hours they would be going home. They've been in jail. By the time they go to court in April, they would have been in jail like 3 months. That's already 3 months in jail. Yeah, I wonder what they think now. They go by Jimmy, not Isabel. The court system doesn't have an alternate name for them. If that was true, it would be on their court documents. But because people can have an alternate name if you identify as a male or something, you can have that put down. But I don't see that. I know might be what they said on the video, but it's not here. Yeah. The anonymous tip advised that there is a student who goes by the name Jimmy who is planning to kill another student, redacted. Eventually, investigators say they were able to identify Jimmy as Valdez. I don't know what that means. I don't know if it means they identify as a guy or they just thought it was some sort of code word. I don't know. But they're not identified by that name in any court documents or anything like that. So if it was like that, people are not going to be rude like that. They would use the name, but it's not listed. Kelly said maybe it was just a code name. That's what I wonder. Hey, Snap Crackle, how are you, my friend? Espion said their prefrontal cortex is blown as they never had the idea of what would happen after. Yeah, you got to imagine. There you go. There's their photo. What is the future for these two now? What happens to them? I guess a long stay at a mental health facility is probably what's going to happen. And, their lives are now derailed because of their own actions. They will probably end up, sadly, in the system, very bad. Their future does not look good. Wendy said maybe it was Isabel's alter ego, their evil persona. It could be. What's interesting in that letter, she doesn't sign it off with the name Jimmy. You would think if it meant a lot to her that she would sign that letter with that name, but it does not say that. Yeah, it doesn't say that. Yeah. And there's no name at the bottom, at least not one I can see. But yeah. No Jimmy here. Jimmy doesn't live here. Danny said, I suspect they are both SA victims. I don't know about that. I know we had a case the other day where I was pretty sure the victim was it was that girl that we talked about in the UK, the one who was baiting men, would go on dates with them and then abuse them and things like that. That girl, I'm almost sure, was a victim of SA in her childhood. This one, I'm not sure. Ask Mrs. Ping. Ask Mrs. Ping what? If she thinks they're a victim of SA. Mrs. Ping, do you think this story we're talking about, the two girls are a victim of SA? Based on what you heard. No?
Because there's no sign of that.
Mrs. Ping says no. She says she doesn't think so. I think there would be a more outward, like a more sexual side to it, and there isn't. There's a obsessive side to it, but I don't see that sexual. There's no outward sexual. There's no sort of something on that range. We saw it in that one where that girl was, as an adult, trapping men when she would like go on dates with them and then completely lose it if they touched her. That one really spoke to me as someone who obviously had some problems when she was young. Someone had obviously taken advantage of her and committed some crimes against her. This one, I think, I mean, you might be right, Danny, but I'm not. It doesn't. Yeah, unless there's something else there that we'll end up finding out. But yeah. Wendy said Isabelle said she was only sorry for her mom. Made it sound like she did love her mom. Who does she address it to in the letter? Is it to mom and dad? Hold on, where's that letter? She does put her mum first in the letter. There you go. Mama and Papa. So she addressed both of them in that sort of final letter. Redhead's a cutter? Oh, okay. That might be true. Snapcrackle Pop said, thankfully they were caught before they acted on their plan. Thank the world, because I mean, when you bring a knife to school, it shows intent, right? They were definitely going to do something. I don't know whether they would have actually followed through on it completely, but that kid most likely would have been harmed. It's in the police car. She said this. Warner still said, are the kids underage? I mean, they're changing their names because they're under but being tried. No, I don't think it's like that. The redhead said she had never been out in the sun. The redhead has never been out in the sun. I don't know. You think? I think she's just she's obviously a Asian female. I would think. I think she maybe just light skinned. I don't know if red's her real hair color, is it? I think that's dye. I think she may have brown hair or something. I don't think she's really redhead. Let's see. Gayla said, I think they may have done it if they were together but not alone, sort of like egging each other on. By the way, thanks to Four Sons Mum for becoming a member. I appreciate it. It's very kind. And I think Danny gave one. Danny, did you give one away earlier tonight? Or was that last night? Either way, thanks to Danny for giving that away. That's a box color. Woman still said abuse or can't afford sunscreen. I don't know. Let's see. It's in the police car. She said this. All right, I want to know what you're talking about. I had to leave for a minute because I went and got that shopping that came, so I may have missed it. Oh. Okay. Let me go back to where we were just for 1 minute. I don't know if we'll be able to find it, but I'll have a list.
Because no, they came back. I told them like, you know, the important stuff, and then they came back. They were like, "I'm getting really pissed off. You're not telling me everything." I was like, "I swear, that's all I remember." So I had to like sit there for like a few minutes, like just trying to remember every fucking thing and every fucking little detail. And I was like, "Oh, there are these images of Anna Manza." And
I should, dude. I like forgot what to say halfway through my interview.
That was me for most of the interview.
Yeah.
Well, actually, like half the interview was me being just like silent and not doing it because I was hoping like I can just cling on to you have the right to remain silent. But lucky that didn't really work.
I know because like, they're gonna use it against me in court. Hey, why you have these drives with this little boy? Sorry.
You're not a little boy. He's older than you.
No, he's not. Well, oh yeah.
Yeah, he's older than you. It's not some little boy. They can't say it's the little boy. This older boy who's abusing me.
Is that the comment that you were talking about where she says that older boy who's been abusing me? I mean, maybe. It depends what she means by that. Depends what she means by that. Oh, Wendy says sorry, peeing in the plate. Yeah. Oh, she said she was only sorry for her mom. Yeah. Gayla said the only non-light redhead is I have seen in my future son-in-law. Yeah. That's true. I get you. Kelly said they talk about should have done my makeup. I can guarantee you they know they are being recorded in the car and doing it on purpose. Seems like it. I agree. Yeah, I definitely think they know they're going to either be recorded or something's going to happen later. Definitely. Give me 1 second. Let's see. Hey, I want to thank my friend Kathy Lynch. Kathy, thank you so much for the donation today. And I want to thank my friend with no name. You are very kind. Snapcrackle said they don't seem upset they're going to jail. Not at all, right? They don't seem like they're concerned about what's going to happen today, tomorrow, in the future. So we'll find out more about them in the future, guys. In April 29th. And they did it all to bring this kid back to life, Adam Lanza. I don't know if he actually will come back to life. I'm not sure if that's a real thing or not. I don't think so. Um, Snapcrackle said I would be in a mess. Me too. I would have been like, oh my God, am I never getting out of here? But they're done. I mean, I don't know what to tell you except for it's very frightening that kids of this age are dreaming of this, talking about this type of stuff, trying to, make it happen. It's very frightening. It really is. Let's see. Yeah, so they said they claimed to that they were going to wait for the victim in the restroom, stab him in the stomach or cut his throat, leave flowers at the scene, and smoke a cigarette afterwards. Does that make you really cool if you smoke the cigarette afterwards? Is that what happens? You're really, really cool? I don't understand the whole leave flowers at the scene and smoke a cigarette after. Winner still said they think they're going to get bail and get right out because they're underage. I definitely think that's what they thought. They were going to get out of jail by the night time and be back at home. By the time, like I said, by the time they get to court on April 29, they will have been in jail for 3 months. Wait, January, Feb, March, April. Yeah, 3 months. Over 3 months they would have been in jail. Shocking, isn't it, guys? But there you go. That was the new update. I wanted to show you those drawings because I thought they were very interesting. And yeah, it's some new updates for it because we haven't had a lot since they were arrested a while ago. And yeah, there you go. New video, new photos. Why can't we go back to that other web page? There we go. Where's those photos? Yeah, there you go. There's those photos again. I don't exactly know what they describe, but yeah. Maybe what would happen afterwards. I don't know if this is I don't know if he's got a gun in his waistband here. They're all a little strange, aren't they? And there's that one. There you go. Drawings of what they were gonna do. I don't think the kid looked like AL. I doubt he did. She's not bad at drawing. I know. What a waste of talent, unfortunately. Deborah said, here in AZ, bringing a weapon to school, there are some automatic charges. That's interesting. Is that the attempted murder charge? Is that why? Let's see. In Florida, if you bring In Florida, it's considered generally a third-degree felony. This applies to all schools. Punishable by up to 5 years in prison and a $5,000 fine. Discharging a weapon on school grounds is a second-degree felony. That's only if you discharge a weapon. Apparently, there's automatic expulsion in most schools in Florida because they have a zero tolerance policy. Students found with weapons are subject to mandatory expulsion, typically for 1 year. And they're saying, depending on the severity, a juvenile could be prosecuted as an adult if they bring a weapon to a school. So there you go. That is probably why they were originally charged, originally charged as children, but now being charged as adults. There you go. Probably because of all the school shootings and the big one that happened in Florida a while ago. Snapcrackle said, I bet they do have a hard time in jail with their mouths. They're going to get taught very quickly by someone in jail. You know, someone's going to give them the old backhand in jail for sure. Let's see. All right. What else do we have on our catch up list for today? By the way, very famous actor who turned into a meme later in life died today. I know you guys know who I'm talking about. It is the Karate Man from the 70s and 80s, Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris died today. Isn't that crazy? I didn't even know he was. I didn't know he was still alive, but there you go. He died today. What else do we have on my catch-up list? Let's see. That's crazy. Here, I want to show you something. Have you ever watched the documentary on New Zealand's White Island volcano? You have to watch that documentary. It is crazy. This woman is one of the few people who survived that day when that volcano exploded, and she's saying that's what's left to her after the skin graft. She's still scarred and maimed after the day of that volcano. What a very brave lady. If you've never watched that documentary, you should watch it. I can't remember what it's called. It was on Netflix. Is the volcano rescue from Wakari. Give that a watch. It's called The Volcano, and it is one of the craziest documentaries, and it is heart palpitation inducing. Give it a watch. It'll tell you what happened that day on that island. I can't imagine that. Imagine being on an island, no way off, except for boat or helicopter, and the volcano explodes. I think that would have been terrifying. President Cato case allowing co-conspirators in court. No, I didn't see that. Yeah, what is it? Uh, I don't know why that's not showing up. I spelt it the way Danny. Preziator? Christopher. Yeah, okay. Opening statements begin in trial for Christopher. Yes. Opening statements. Okay. I did not see that they were allowing. Normally, they're not allowed in court because it could prejudice other trials and things like that. But if you remember, this is the Soto Guerrera murder. Oh yes. Okay. Let me take you out to KSAT 12 for a bit of a catch up on this.
Evidence and crime scene photos were the main focus of testimony this afternoon in the capital murder trial of Christopher Preciado. The 21-year-old is accused in the 2023 murders of Savannah Soto, Matthew Guerra, and their unborn son. KSAT 12's Erica Hernandez takes us back inside the courtroom with more on what was presented to the jury today.
More than a dozen crime scene photos were shown to the jury today, too graphic for us to show you, but there was some significant evidence that was collected inside that vehicle Matthew Guerra and Savannah Soto were found in, including this bullet. It was found behind the driver's seat. This was the only round found inside, but no gun was found. We also heard from a gunshot residue expert from the Bexar County Crime Lab who said her testing revealed that gunshot residue was found on both Guerra and Soto, but it could not be determined whether they handled a gun or were near the gun when it was fired. Prosecutors say Guerra met up with Christopher Preciado to sell him drugs, but Preciado executed him and Soto instead, apparently wanting to steal Guerra's money. We also heard from an SAPD detective who says Soto's phone last pinged outside Preciado's home, and that is what led them to charging him. We also saw body cam footage of when police first questioned Christopher Preciado outside his home and tell him they had a warrant to seize his father's truck.
Yeah, that case was very sad. We followed that case very early on in this channel's life. Kim says, what was the name of the documentary again? It's called The Volcano on Netflix. You should be able to find it. Yeah, this was the case of Savannah Soto. I remember when we did that. It feels like that was just yesterday, but it was 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Wow, was it really that far ago? I can't believe we're only just getting to trial for that. I could have sworn it was did one of the family members get let off the trial? I'm pretty sure we late last year. Was it like the grandma or something? They dropped the charges against her. I know it took a long time to get through the pre-trial part of it.
Have any idea why we're taking the trip? Why we're contacting you? Sometimes does look like ours. What video are you referencing? The case I video?
Now, he denied knowing anything about the case as well. Later, a gun was found inside the Preciado home. Today, a hearing away from the jury was held on whether Ramon Preciado would be allowed in the courtroom during trial. Ramon is also facing charges related to the case, accused of trying to help his son cover up the crime. Judge Jennifer Pena did grant that request, and we shall see if Ramon appears in court. Now, Christopher Preciado would automatically be sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole if he is convicted.
We should keep a closer eye on that trial, being that it was such a big case for us when we started this channel. Might do some more daily updates on it. Apparently, the jury viewed grisly crime scene photos the other day. I don't think we ever wanted to. I don't want to see that. They're saying here that they viewed grisly crime scene images from the killings of pregnant teen Savannah Soto and Matthew Guerrero. They're saying photos depicting the bodies of Soto and Guerrero were shown to the jury during testimony from former San Antonio police crime scene investigator Ryan Rodriguez. The images showed Soto's lifeless body in the front passenger seat and a baby's car seat placed on top of her. And they're saying Guerrero's Ralph Lauren Polo Bear flip-flops lay on the driver's side floor while the 22-year-old's body was stretched across the back seat. The distressing imagery was shown on the second day of the capital murder trial for Preciado, 21, who is facing life in prison if found guilty. The high-profile trial, which is expected to last 2 weeks, has brought together several family members of both sides to the courtroom. We'll have to keep more of an eye on this one if you want me to, since we covered the whole thing of Savannah and Matthew being missing at the time. Was some of the earliest videos on this channel. I'll have to do some catch up because I have not been keeping up with it, but they're on day 4, I believe, today. But today they saw crime scene images. They're saying here that family were removed from the court. Yeah, Savannah Soto's brother barred from the courtroom after starting incident. Let's have a look at that. So apparently his brother has been barred. 2 of Savannah Soto's brothers were thrown out of court Thursday for staring at the man accused of covering up her murder. The pregnant mother and her boyfriend were reported missing December 22nd, 2023, when Savannah Soto failed to show up to her appointment to have her son induced. Their bodies were found days later with gunshot wounds in a parking lot of an apartment complex in Leon Valley. Christopher was arrested days later and charged with capital murder. Thursday, 2 of Savannah's brothers were kicked out of the court and will not be allowed back because they were staring at Ramon Preciado, who is accused of covering up their sister's murder. I'd stare at them too. I didn't know you couldn't look at them. They're saying here, to me, it's not fair because he was doing the same thing. He turned around from where he was sitting and turned himself and looked at them. Why didn't they take him out? Rachel says each day in court reopens old wounds. Friday, detectives showed video of what would have been Savannah and Matthew's son, Fabian's nursery. Soto says while evidence is presented in court, um, they apparently they're receiving protection from deputies at all times. She says, I think we're being treated unfair just because they're sitting there. They got all these guards around them. We're not going to do anything to them. We're going to wait for the trial for them to do what they have to do. We're not going to do it. So she's saying they've got all these bodyguards around the accused and their family trying to protect them in court. And they're saying they're not going to do anything. That's brutal. I don't know. Let's have a look. I remember when he was arrested. I don't know. Do we have a updated court photo from him? If you guys would like me to do daily updates of it, I will. We can follow it during the day if you want. Is that what he looks like now? Oh, he's got no more long hair. He cut off the long hair. When he was arrested, he had really long hair. And now he's got short hair. So more of a short cut now. Sorry, almost coughed into the mic. Kim says she does not want me to do it every day. Okay. Snapcrackle Pop says yes. Okay, well we could do daily recaps from the court, or I could come on very early in the morning. What time is Texas? They're in court at 9, right? In Texas. What's 9? It'd be 1:30 in the morning for me. But I can do an update when we get up during the day. Oh, I reckon you were. I reckon you were. Yeah, so we could do daily updates to this one. This one's very sad. I remember when we were all trying to piece together the CCTV footage that we had, just a very, like, it was like not much, and everyone's trying to figure out what happened to Savannah Soto. Yeah, Savannah Soto. CCTV. I remember we got like a little bit of CCTV at one point. Yeah, this video. Maybe this will jog some of your memories. There you go. And then like we're all trying to figure out what was going on, trying to zoom up on pixels and figure it out. They do that to look good in court. Okay, well, look, we have nothing on for the next few weeks to a month. So we could follow this trial until it's completed because we don't have anything on our sort of books until later in April. So not until late in April do we have anything coming up for any of the cases that we're following. All right, yeah, we could do that. So today's Friday. So are they sitting on a Saturday? Let's have a look. Some courts do go in on a Saturday. I just don't know whether this one is. I'll have a look. Okay. They concluded on the Friday. They'll resume on Monday. They are not doing one on Saturday. It's expected to last at least a week. So we've got a few more days, but you guys know what happens in trials. They'll say a week or two. It'll end up being 3. So we've got a bit more time. Yeah, it's interesting. Not all of them do it, but some do go in, depending on the trial, depending on how much evidence they have to get through. Some of them will sit on a Saturday during the day. Let's have a look. Yeah, you guys remember this too? This was that missing poster for Savannah. Oh, that's a terrible copy. I'll grab the photo for you. This was a couple of years ago now. There you go. It was right at Christmas time too. 22nd of December. So we were covering it all through the holidays, unfortunately. Warner still said they trapped them by parking in front of them. They do that sometimes for pretrial hearings. His dad was arrested. His dad and stepmom. Were they the ones that were let off? I remember late last year there was some big hoo-ha because one of them they dropped the charges. Here. Ah. Yeah, his stepmother's charges were dismissed in November 2025. Yeah. His father, Ramon, his charges with abuse of a corpse and tampering with evidence, he is currently out on bond, awaiting a separate trial date, which has not been set. So there you go. They're saying here they claim Matthew Guerrero pointed a gun at Christopher first, leading to a struggle. Prosecutors, however, maintain the victims were executed in cold blood. I think that I would believe the prosecutor. I think it was an execution. I think that was pretty clear from the CCTV and some of the details we were given years ago. They're saying during the first week of the trial, prosecutors presented evidence alleging alleging a robbery-motivated execution of Savannah and Matthew, citing graphic crime scene photos and vehicle GPS data. The defense countered by highlighting the lack of his DNA in the victim's car, arguing self-defense, supported by forensic testimony regarding the weapon. There you go. It's going to be a contentious court trial, I think. Okay, so from Monday, we can do the trial for you. I'll say hoo-ha all I want. I am not Oprah. I do not call lady parts that. I call it by the real name. I am not a 5-year-old girl. Kim said his dad is going to trial. Yes. Yeah, it's prejudicial. Normally, if there's other charges with co-conspirators, they're not allowed to watch the trial because it could have. But actually, he's not being done with murder, though. If he was being done with murder and it was a second trial, like a separated trial, that I get it. But because he's only being done with abuse of a corpse, I guess there is no prejudicial overlap between the two cases. Yeah, I wonder if that's why they allowed it, because normally you're not allowed to do that. You have to be absent from the court. They won't even allow you to watch the live stream. You normally have to stop that. That's right. That's right. I see Lady Gardens. I'm an adult. I only use that word here because the majority of the people we have on the channel are female. But and because of YouTube's rules. Because if I say the other word too many times, we'll get an 18 plus barrier on the account. That's weird. Ah, okay. Kelly said I actually use the word woha for that region. Hoo-ha. Okay. Sounds like when you go to like a sporting game and they're like hoo-ha, like the Texans or whatever. They got the horns. The horns. All right. Yeah, that's a very sad case. So yeah, on Monday I will do a court wrap for you. Interesting that a detective that gave evidence at the trial said detectives who investigated the killings said they found clothing with apparent blood inside of Christopher's home. Details on the evidence collected from the home came during testimony. Well, that's never a good thing, is it? Detectives also met with a neighbor who told police she found bloody money while walking her dog. That's never what you want to find in the neighborhood. Family members said Guerrero was known to be flashy with his money and jewelry on social media. That's a little victim blamey, isn't it? You're basically blaming him for getting killed because he was flashy with his money. Prosecutors say Christopher killed Guerrero and Soto during a drug deal outside of his home on the northwest side. They're saying Preciado wanted Guerrero's money. So you killed a woman who was 9 months pregnant, who was due to give birth like a couple of days later, and you kill them, including the baby, for some money. It's horrific. Horrific. Hey, good night, Snapcrackle. See you, my friend. Have a good sleep. He is. It really is. It's really sad. The fact that she was just about to have the baby too, and instead they're killed. It's awful. All right. Let's see. Okay. It is evil. The fact that she was going to be induced to go into labor, and instead this guy had other plans that he wanted to. There he is. He had other plans, that money above all, that he would rather steal someone's money and kill two people and a baby, unborn child, all to get a bit of cash. I think that says all you need to know about who he is as a person. What a horrible human being. Horrible. All right, what else do we have? Yeah, so on Monday I'll go back and watch the court footage, and I will catch up on what I missed for the first 4 days, and then on Monday I'll be ready to go and we'll start covering it. Let's see. Maybe we can get a catch up video here. Let's go to KSAT.
Who are you engaging with in this video?
Ramon, well, both at the time,
Okay.
Christopher and Ramon.
All right. And is State's Exhibit 91, apart from the agreed upon redactions between the parties to comply with the rules of evidence, is State's Exhibit 91 a fair and accurate recording of that interaction?
Yes.
You'd like to offer in the evidence State's Exhibit 91.
No objection, Judge.
States 91 will be admitted.
May we publish on it?
Yes, ma'am.
Reason that y'all were there at this point.
So I'm guessing that's his dad there, and there's this son with his long hair that he used to have. Kathy said, "Why is it mostly women in the true crime community? Are we obsessed with murder?" I'm not sure. I remember. Yeah, I think they are. Hold on. Aren't they doing the daily? They're not doing a full live stream every day. That's annoying. Okay, they're only releasing snippets of it. It looks like they're only doing like small snippets of the trial throughout the day. They're not actually doing like an 8-hour live stream. That's frustrating. Live streaming is not allowed by the court in this trial, but the news agencies who are in the courtroom have been providing sort of blow by blow details of it, and some small videos have been released by the court. Very much like Australia, some of the trials we've done it down here, there is no live streaming. You're not allowed to do it. There's no audio, even no audio even. You can't just have audio. So that's annoying, isn't it? We'll just have to do the case wrap up at the end of the day every day. Is that typical in Texas courtrooms to not get a live stream? It's only for this one. The presiding judge has strictly prohibited live video or audio broadcasting from inside the courtroom. However, San Antonio news outlets have been providing extensive gavel to gavel text updates and video summaries of each day's proceedings. Okay. So it seems like they can record it, but they can't do it live. And they can provide, yeah. How annoying. Obsessed with justice for the victims. That might be why. Yeah, let me type it into AI and let's see what AI tells us. Like why women are obsessed with true crime. Why are women true? Let's have a look. It says here, women are drawn to true crime primarily for survival learning, empathy, and psychological thrill. It allows women to study predator behavior, recognize red flags, and understand how to avoid becoming a victim themselves, providing a sense of control in a dangerous world. It also offers a safe space to process fears of violence. And it says here, many viewers feel profound empathy for victims who are frequently women and want to understand their stories and hope for justice. There you go. Is that why you apparently that is the psychological report from Psychology Today about why women like true crime. Apparently that is the reasoning behind it. I don't know if you agree, but that is what the psychologist said. Actually, I didn't get it from a chat GBT. I got it from Psychology Today. See? I got it from Psychology Today. Why the true crime audience is predominantly female. There you go. So okay, it's not from AI. Yeah. I don't know. I guess that makes a pretty good explanation. It makes a lot of sense in a real world application for women. There's a lot of women who want to make sure that they are not going to, find a partner who's end up going to kill them. So I mean, it makes sense. Warner still said, I agree with a tiny bit of it. Just a tiny bit. Just a wafer. Kelly said, that's one of the most accurate AI I've heard. There you go. Danny probably went to bed. He might have gone to bed. It's getting late. All right, we should probably wrap up. If people are starting to snore, then we are done for the night. I don't want to bore people. So Kim says, I learn a lot from true crime. I think we all have. Kathy said, I don't think any of that fits me. I like mysteries. I want to see them solved. The reason I like true crime is because I always want to search for the answer to a problem. And true crime is sort of frustrating in a way because not always do you get the answer. And that sort of is something that, you know, it's sort of like it gets that bit of your brain where like you are desperate for answers for something and you try and figure it out. Is there an answer you can look at? Is there something you can try and like a puzzle? Can you put the pieces together? So for me, it's almost like problem solving. Kelly said, I thought Ping was going to say something else. That was your Frenchie snoring. Women still said, women obviously aren't learning. Yeah, some of them are not. Maybe they don't watch true crime. All right. Let's get out of here for the Friday night. I won't be back tomorrow. I have grandma's 90th birthday. tomorrow. 90th birthday. Is it? That's right, isn't it? 90th birthday. She's going to be 90. She does not even seem 90. She is you would think she was in her 70s or something like that. She is so active. Yeah, she lives alone now since granddad died. Uh, she cooks and bakes and she goes places on her own and runs her own household. Yeah, so she does all sorts of things. So 90 years old tomorrow. That's right. Yes, happy birthday to grandma. So we're gonna go take her out. She wants to go to a restaurant that she really likes, and it's in the city. So we have to go into the city tomorrow for her birthday. 90 years old, and let's see if we can get her to 100 or more. I reckon she could. If there was anyone that could make it to 100, it's her. She has been through so much, and the fact that she is still so young at 90, it's amazing, really. No, she doesn't even look 90. No. Yeah, good genetics. Yeah, Gayla has to fill in tomorrow night. That's right. But instead of having a night off on Monday, Sunday for you guys, I will do a Sunday show this week. So yeah, it'll be good. So yeah, that's where I'll be tomorrow, with family doing that. We've had so many family functions in the first part of the year, but later on in the year, there's like none. They're all at the start of the year. They're all between like January and March, April. And then it's a big gap until August and September. I'll see if I can get one tomorrow. Yeah, I think so. I think I will be celebrating her 100 birthday. All right, let me double check here. Hey, Kathy, again for being donator for tonight. I appreciate it, my friend. Thank you very much. The show really does live and survive on the nice people who fund the channel, and including the couple of people who don't want to be talked about. They are very helpful, and I'm very thankful for them too. But there's you know, those people help out a lot. So thank you to those people. Thanks to Dan Yee for constantly getting us new members. Four Sons Mom became a member again. And yes, I will look for a photo of her for tomorrow. I'll see if I can get one with her with a birthday cake. All right, I'll see you on Sunday night. So we'll switch nights. Instead of doing Saturday, we'll do Sunday. All right, I love you all. Good night, everyone. Bye.